Welcome to Spectacle Island. Hey guys, it's Snake Eyes here. I'm bringing you another settlement build. This time, it's on Spectacle Island. It's for the monthly build challenge on Cordless VII's Discord. If the audio sounds terrible, it probably does because I'm literally recording this through my earbuds that happen to have a mic in that I didn't know about, and it's plugged into my iPod, and there's voice memos on an iPod. So I'm recording voice memos and then transferring them over to the computer just to be able to get in the video. I saw that this month's challenge was Mim's Month of Madness, and was trying to think of the craziest things I could. So I was scrolling through the chat, and I saw a Doc say the word big one time, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta do this. So that's what I did. And yes, Mim, there will be Toto and a serial killer art gallery, so you don't have to worry about that. And I will let you off with my narration. Land of life and vigor, awaiting exploration from the gods. A sight to behold. A spectacle of an island, I suppose. Though this island has dark secrets in which it encompasses, a killer lives on this island, driven mad by questions. He was a mere boy when the bombs had dropped. His family was wealthy. He had everything a boy could dream of: money, toys, pets, even his own fusion-powered car. Anything he wanted. His father was one of the richest men alive. He was away on a business trip most of the time. He had never had a father's embrace. His mother didn't particularly enjoy her son's company either. She would beat him and punish him constantly. Not because he would act out. He was a well-behaved boy, good grades, a perfect child to some degree. His mother abandoned him and adopted a young black daughter. She was the cutest thing, and he had much fun playing with her. But he felt hatred for his mother. She had forgotten him and left him alone. But there was one thing he never received from his wealth and his father's riches. He was given no love. Still, the boy was resilient, tenacious, determined, like his father. He enjoyed the parts of life that made him happy. He always had interest in the arts, painting, drawing, acting. His father gave him an at-home art tutor and a video studio for his 7th and 10th birthday. In that video studio, he would act upon a crowd of some of the wealthiest people in the Commonwealth. For the boy was a good actor for his age, too. One could say he had a future in it. In 2077, the bombs dropped. Atomic annihilation struck the very world we once knew. The world was changed. So was the boy. He saw a blinding flash from his window, screams from every direction. He hid under the blankets, for the light was too bright for his eyes to witness. He was scared. He heard what he thought was an explosion. He knew this from the TV shows he had watched, but this time it was real. He proceeded to cover his ears while under the blanket, for the sound was louder than anything he ever knew. The wind surrounded the child's room, as a smoke swept over the land, destroying everything in its path. When the pain had stopped, he rose from his bed. What he saw had scarred him for life. His hands were no longer the bright, white skin he once had before. His flesh had melted, clean off, though he felt no pain. He felt different, very different. His body was larger and taller, almost as a full-grown man. He looked around at what had happened. The building had collapsed. There was no roof to protect him from the burning daylight. He covered his face with his hands as he attempted to cover the sun's gaze. His sight was blurry, but began to become more clear. He looked at the hole in the floor and saw the ones who had once watched him act. But only he was watching them now, as they sat in what remains of their former selves. He proceeded to look out of the house onto the terrain of the island, looking for answer to what had happened. He saw a large figure. It was his mother, but much larger, staring past him with only the remaining skin and bones left of her. He could not process the world around him. Everything had grown larger, and some had died and been destroyed. He frantically began painting with what remains of his art supplies. However, he did not speak. He only watched the tip of the brush move across the canvas. Once he had finished painting, he stared at it and dropped to the knees, tired, weak, and defeated. He had been truly changed at a young age. He had no love in his heart for anything around him. No one had any love for him. All that he may have loved was gone. There was no reason, there was no purpose. Nothing could explain what was happening in the world around him. He was alone. He had no memory of suffering in his life. Only loneliness is what he has ever felt. He had no future anymore. It was taken away along with the blast and the heavy winds. He realized life was pointless, but he had raged at the world for doing this to him. He grew his young concept of God to his own understanding. He used his God to explain purpose. Pain was his purpose. Suffering was the truth of the living. From this point on, he had been a monster, a wicked child, the reckoning of his former self. He sought to bring pain and suffering to others' lives as pain and suffering was to him. He scavenged the waste, learning to survive at a young age. The blast had made him like his father, larger, stronger, and more capable. He could bring pain back into the world around him. He grew an obsession for death, as it was the greatest suffering one could experience. Pain was his passion, and as he saw fit, decorated the remains of the home with his passions, while still keeping the past intact. He traveled the rest of the land by boat, making trips to kidnap survivors of the apocalypse. He would inflict the greatest pain that he could upon them, torturing anyone he could. Men, women, and even children. He had no remorse. A killer was born, not from the ashes of what remained, but from the fire that consumed the earth. Alright guys, I know that was pretty bad, but It was a little story that I wrote to kind of get me through building process and kind of just thinking of things on the spot. Yeah, I just looked back on this and kind of thought, what kind of lore could I add to this to make it make sense, I guess. So basically, in summary, um, there was a bomb, obviously, and it destroyed his life entirely, whatever life he had left. He was not loved by anyone, and once the bombs fell, it became a reason and an excuse to inflict pain upon others. It's the kind of irrational thinking that you would expect from a psychopath who was not hugged by their parents very much, and that's exactly what it is. The bombs kind of tie into it, where like it grew the land and objects around him. So from that, seeing that as a very young child is very scary. Seeing bombs and seeing death around you and death below you, and it's just a frightening feeling, and that's exactly what would cause someone to go on a rampage and be a psycho. And that's kind of the whole point of this, I guess. There's a serial killer art gallery. I don't think I've shown it in this video part yet, but it's coming there. And there will be Toto, Africa. And yeah, I hope you guys liked the story. If you didn't, I know my quality sucks. Again, I don't know what to do yet. I'm getting a new, better mic hopefully soon. It's just, for now, this is what you guys are gonna have to deal with. Sorry about that. This might be the only video until I have a new mic, but thank you guys for listening to that if you did, and I appreciate your guys' feedback, your support, and your comments, and your likes, whatever you guys got. I'm still working on multiple builds actually right now. Since I just finished this one, there's a total of 2 builds that I'm working on right now, so hopefully I'll be able to get those done. Hopefully, I'm not sure, but that one is just a really, really big one, and I'm not sure how long it'll take. I've already been working on it for 2 months now, and it'll be something like Cordless's Vault, except I won't update you on anything. So, yeah, that'll be done eventually. And there's another build that I have been working on. I tried starting a playthrough, and then I just started building. So, yeah, that's pretty much my life. I try, and then I end up doing something else completely opposite that I wasn't trying to do. Because I was trying to just have like a nice little survival playthrough or whatever. And yeah, that didn't work out. I just ended up building again. So I'm gonna have that build being shown, and maybe another challenge if there is one. Yeah. Happy birthday, Mem. That's pretty awesome that this month is your birthday, and kind of gave me an excuse to do this. So thank you for choosing Mem's Month of Madness. And yeah, it's a little bit of a psychopath story. So there you go for Mem's Month of Madness. I think that fits the criteria. And by the way, actually in 5 days, September 27th is actually my birthday too. So at least we have birthdays in the same month. And I may be sick too, so my voice is probably a little like groggy, whatever. I don't really care. But yeah, I'll hopefully have some builds done. I know it's taking a long time. It's just you guys gotta be patient. I mean, it takes a long time. I have school and stuff. I have a life, guys. I'm not always home and making videos. A bunch of AP tests, honors, whatever. It's not the best time for me right now to be devoted fully to making settlement builds. I think my education is a little bit more important. I'm sorry, guys, but it is. With that said, thank you guys for watching. There's still more of the build you want to watch, but I'll see you guys next time. Good luck to anybody who's entered the monthly challenge, and good luck.